Hey guys, welcome to the Duck Under a Foston Pettigrew, and today we're going to be talking some NCAA Championships review. So I'm going to review each weight class weight by weight in separate videos, of course. So let's kind of start it off with 125. And the way I'll do this is I'll go over all the All-Americans, the storylines, which I'll start off with in every video. Most impressive wrestler at the weight, most disappointing, close All-Americans who were this close to making it, and then non-All-American to watch for next year. So let's get started with the storylines. So two storylines for this weight class. You had, would Rayvon Foley All-American? You know, Rayvon Foley, prior All-American, people didn't know he would All-American this year or not because he was at the 9th seed. He had probably one of the tougher paths of the tournament. And people thought he was hurt too. At the Big Tens, he looked like he had a bum knee. So let's kind of go through it. So, you know, Rayvon Foley, he proved the doubters wrong. He would end up All-American. And so he lost to Vito Arajau, who's a tough wrestler from Cornell. I love Vito. Vito's one of my favorite wrestlers at this weight. And he went down the consolation. And he had a path. So Rayvon went all the way and went to the blood round. And he had to face Sean Russell. Sean Russell's tough. Sean Russell's a tough wrestler. He's not that elite wrestler who will make it to the championships, but he's that dude you know will always All-American. And he beat Sean Russell. He beat Sean Russell 12-4. He beat him handily. A dude who's always there on the podium. That's crazy. I did not see that coming. But Rayvon Foley proved me wrong. He proved everyone wrong. And congrats to Rayvon Foley, Michigan State. That's impressive. And so, you know, you have Rayvon Foley. Whenever it just adds on. So he faces Patrick Glory in the consolation quarters, and he gets beat because Patrick Glory is a better wrestler. And, you know, like they said, Rayvon may have been hurt. And so he has to, for 7th and 8th, he has to face Ronnie Bresser. You know, this person who people thought would be this title contender. People said, well, we'll get to him in a minute. But Rayvon beat Ronnie Bresser. And Rayvon absolutely dominated him. And congrats to Rayvon. Rayvon, good job. But you proved all the doubters wrong. The next storyline, and this is when we start getting the All-Americans, Spencer Lee was not the same. Would he repeat as champion? So for those who don't know, Spencer Lee had 3 losses this year. He had it two to Sebastian Rivera, 1 at Midlands, 1 at Big Ten Championships, and then he lost to Nicholas Piccinini, one of my favorite wrestlers at this weight too. I'm an OSU Cornell fan, so I love both those guys. He lost to him at the OSU Iowa duel, and people were thinking, man, Spencer Lee's not the same as last year. He's not this dominating force. This man who ran through everyone at 125 last year, and people were questioning was he hurt? Was it the weight cut? Something's wrong with him. Did the competition get better? Which I did think the competition did get better. But, you know, people were questioning, would Spencer Lee repeat? So Spencer Lee did have a tough path to the finals again. So let's kind of talk about his quarterfinals match. You know, he faced Sean Russell again. Sean Russell's a tough guy. Tough wrestler anyone go against. So, and then he ends up pinning Sean Russell. And whenever he was kicking him 10-2. That's crazy. You know, he pinned Sean Russell, and then he advances to semifinals against Nicholas Piccinini and dominates Pitch. Major decision him. The guy who pinned him. Then he gets to the finals against Jack Mueller, and Jack Mueller had a run. Jack Mueller's from Virginia University, and Jack Mueller, he ended up beating Ronnie Bresser. And I'm not high on Ronnie Bresser, we'll talk about in a minute, but, you know, Jack Mueller beat Ronnie Bresser, then he beats Sebastian Rivera. Sebastian Rivera was the man pinned to win this championship this year if it came down to him and Spencer Lee. And so Jack Mueller rode Sebastian Rivera for over 5 minutes. People, that's crazy. That's unheard of. Riding someone for over 5 minutes. So let's get into this championship round now. So you have Spencer Lee, the returning national champion, versus this young hotshot named Jack Mueller, who just rode out Sebastian Rivera for over 5 minutes. And so, Spencer Lee ends up winning 5-0 in this round. He ends up beating Jack Mueller. And this proves to us that Spencer Lee is still at his championship caliber whenever it counts. You know, he's going to take losses during the season to good people. Not the average people, but he's going to take good losses to good people like a Sebastian Rivera, like a Nicholas Piccinini. These guys. And Spencer Lee proved us wrong. You know, he's this 2-time national champion now. And good for Spencer Lee. Spencer Lee's a good wrestler, good guy, from all I've ever heard of. And he beat a tough Jack Mueller, who's good on top. Congratulations to Jack Mueller in Virginia. You know, getting the finalist in there, trying to win your first ever national champion And, man, I'm going to tell you this. Jack Mueller will be a national champion someday. That kid is tough, and that kid has what it takes to be a national champion. And so let's kind of get into the third and fourth place match now. And so third and fourth place match, you have Sebastian Rivera versus Vito Araju. And so, again, people thought Sebastian Rivera was going to win his championship this year, but he ran into Jack Mueller, as we talked about. So Sebastian Rivera ends up beating Vito for third and fourth. And he ends up getting third with an 8-3 decision. And so now you have Sebastian Rivera over Vito. Vito had a path. Vito had one of the toughest paths, I think, of the tournament. So, he faced Sebastian Rivera in his quarterfinals match. In his blood round match, he faced Sean Foss, who's a tough opponent. Kind of disappointing this year, but a tough opponent. Then he beat Ronnie Bresser, who was supposed to be a title contender this year, 8-5. And the biggest one of his year, Vito beat Nicholas Piccinini 5-1. Crazy match. And that just proved that Vito's going to be a title contender next year. If he can make the weight, of course. Vito did have weight troubles. People didn't know if he was going to be able to make 125. And so there's going to be that doubting where people think he's going to, Vito ain't going to make 125. I think he will make 125, but that's besides the point. But, Vito had a great tournament. He out-wrestled his seed. He came in as the 8th seed. People didn't know what to think of Vito. But he lost to Sebastian Rivera 8-3. Congrats to Sebastian Rivera. Didn't go as planned, but he won 8-3. So third and fourth, you have Rivera, then Vito. The fifth place match. So in this fifth place match, you have Nicholas Piccinini versus Patrick Glory. And they've wrestled each other 2 other times. This is counting the quarterfinals match before their fifth and sixth place match. So Piccinini's beat him every time. So Piccinini lost to Vito, and he ended up going for fifth and sixth. And in this match, Glory was absolutely kicking his butt. I'm not going to lie. I love Piccinini, but Glory was kicking his butt. And it looked like Glory had sealed it off. But in wrestling, never think that. So Nicholas Piccinini ends up pinning Patrick Glory for fifth and sixth to get fifth for OSU. And Nicholas Piccinini is an amazing story. Jersey boy. New York boy. And again, Nicholas Piccinini, congratulations. Patrick Glory, congratulations. Patrick Glory is a tough wrestler too. He's going to be back next year and all that. So let's get to 7th and 8th. You have Rayvon Foley, the man no one fought with, All-American, versus Ronnie Bresser. And so Ronnie Bresser was disappointing this year. He came in as the 4th seed. Only lost was Sebastian Rivera. And people expected him to be this 3rd or 4th place guy, turning All-American. And he lost to Rayvon Foley for 7th and 8th. And so, Rayvon Foley proved the doubters wrong. Like I said, he placed. And I'm sure Rayvon Foley is happy to place. I'm sure he expected bigger things. And but Rayvon Foley placed. He beat Ronnie Bresser, who I'm sure was disappointed in himself. But again, for 7th and 8th, you have Foley at 7th and Bresser at 8th. So let's kind of run through all these All-Americans again. So at first, you have Spencer Lee. At second, you have Jack Mueller. At third, you have Sebastian Rivera. At fourth, you have Vito Arajau. At fifth, you have Nick Piccinini. At sixth, you have Patrick Glory. At seventh, you have Rayvon Foley. And at eighth, you have Ronnie Bresser. So let's get into the most impressive wrestler at this weight. In my opinion, it's one or two guys. These guys are interchangeable. It's my own opinion. So don't be like, okay, he's wrong. But me personally, I think it's Vito Arajau. Vito proved everyone wrong. Vito proved he can hang with the big boys. He's going to be a title contender next year, I believe. And, Vito proved that he's just not there to be an All-American. He's proved there that he can contend for a title, I think. He had good matches with Sebastian Rivera, and he will be chasing for a title next year. You also said Jack Mueller. Jack Mueller will win a championship eventually, I believe. Whether that be 125 or 133. Who knows what weight he's going to go at. He could be redshirted, too, next year. Who knows? But, Vito and Mueller are two guys to watch out for next year. So keep your eye on them. Most disappointing, Ronnie Bresser. Ronnie Bresser was a disappointment this year. He came in with only one loss. People expected him. He has a chance to contend for a title. Well, he loses to Jack Mueller. Jack Mueller's a good wrestler. And then, he wins his blood round match. And For you don't know, blood rounds are, that's the round of 12. And he wins that match. And so this gets him into the consolation quarters where he loses the Vito and then he loses the Rayvon Foley. Not how I'm sure he wanted to go, and that was the most disappointing part of it, but why I think that Ronnie Bress was the most disappointing part. Some close All-Americans. You have Brent Fleetwood. Brent Fleetwood, I thought he would All-American. I honestly thought he would beat, let's see. Oh, that's right. I thought he would beat Ronnie Bresser in the blood round. And I was wrong. So, Ronnie Bresser, you proved me wrong there. But, again, Brent Fleetwood, tough guy. Wish he would All-American, but he didn't. Sean Foz. Sean Foz of NC State did not All-American. Tough guy, didn't All-American. People said he had weight troubles. People said he might be hurt. Didn't wrestle a lot this year. And then Sean Russell. This is one that probably shocks people most. Sean Russell was the 6th seed. Got beat by the number 9 seed Rayvon Foley in the blood rounds. And Sean Russell, again, this gatekeeper who's always an All-American. Kind of shocking that he didn't All-American. But again, 3 guys that are close to All-American. And so, it's kind of in this non-All-American to watch out for next year. Drew Hildebrandt. For you who never watched Drew Hildebrandt, Drew Hildebrandt's an exciting wrestler. He's a guy who will always scrap with someone and be there in the end of the match. He'll keep close matches, and I believe next year he'll take it up the next level to kind of put his word on it and be able to be an All-American next year. Alright guys, this was my review of the 125 weight class. Tune in. The air weight class will be loaded up soon, coming up soon, and next one will be 133. I hope you all have a great day, and remember, this is Duck Under with Austin Pettigrew, and always remember, duck and cover.